That's just sports, baby.
Crowd goes wild. Strawberry ice, bringing fire and style. Reds, Bengals, Bearcats, all in my zone. This is my stage, my mic, my throne. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's line is kicking down the door. Step into the ring where the passion ignites. Talking sports all day and all night. From the field to the court to the roaring stands. Strawberry ice with the world in my hands. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's fine is kicking down the door.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Iceman Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I bring you sports from West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. And as always, I'm coming to you live from that ice cave.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Priority Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need your shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paver patio, you need anything, I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got it in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. The website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also, shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
All right, guys. I'm already practicing. I don't know how this is going to go, but join me next Saturday right here at the Moorline Lager House for the Beer Stein holding competition. I'm going to be doing it, try to hold this thing up as long as I can, and not wanting to drink it. It looks so delicious, though. Maybe I should just drink it. Yeah, I'll just drink it. It's delicious. But come on down next Saturday, the 22nd, for the International Beer Stein holding competition. I'll be there in the celebrity portion of it. You come down and watch me see how long I hold this thing. Like, this would be fine, but this is going to be a while. See you guys next Saturday. Let's go. There, this Saturday, the 22nd, the Celebrity Stein holding competition that me and Bengals captain are in starts around 3 o'clock. The whole thing starts at noon. So come on down. It's going to be in the Kris Kringle Market. If you don't know what that is, if you've ever been to Moorline Lager House, the big grassy area that they have where they have the stage and stuff out there, all of that is full of tents, igloos, all kinds of stuff. They got a giant tent there. That's where we're going to be Saturday for all these beer competitions and stuff. And they're also going to have the International Stein holding competition, the real legit guys, not us, pretenders like me. Also on Sunday, we'll be doing the Best Day Brewery pregame experience at the Moorline Lager House, and we will be giving away this T. Higgins helmet. Now, the way to enter that is, first of all, buy tickets to the Best Day Brewery pregame experience at the Moorline Lager House. You can get those at Moorline Lager House website. While you're there, might as well register for the rewards program through the Moorline Lager House. That would register you twice for a chance to win this T. Higgins autograph helmet. So, two things. Come down this Saturday for the Stein holding competition and all the stuff they got going on there. And Sunday for the tailgate. We got DJs. We got all-inclusive with the ticket. It's awesome. I'm going to be hosting. We're giving away prizes. And that might be the funnest part of the day going into Sunday's game. Maybe. But I got a feeling Joe Burrow is going to start. I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought he might start Thanksgiving, which this is where I'm leery where they might not start it because he's practiced 2 full days in practice. He's full go. Joe Flacco has been limited but Joe Flacco's been limited for the last couple weeks with his shoulder. The reason I think they might hesitate in starting Joe on Sunday is because they got to turn around on a short week and play Thursday. I'm almost 99.999% sure he's playing Thanksgiving, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. But Dan Orlovsky did come out and say, and I believe him, that he doesn't see why they would have Joe Burrow as full participant if he's not going to play. But I kind of fight back on that is because Joe Flacco is limited, so he really can't be full participant. And if you're going to bring Joe back eventually anyway, you might want to give him as many reps as you can. Now, the other thing is, I know people are out there like, don't play Joe at all. Now, I'm saying this. He's got to play so he has some football under his belt and he's completely healthy. The toe is fine and he makes it through the rest of the season healthy. Knock on wood. To get ready for next year. So we don't have to worry about, well, how's the toe and how's this? And he hadn't taken a step. That's why he's got to play at least sometime this year, is my opinion. Like I said, he might play this Sunday. I think he's playing next Thursday. But we are here to discuss that. And it's Fantasy Football Thursday night. So we got Robert Baker from Fantasy Bankroll. Bring all your fantasy questions here. Do not ask them to me because I completely suck at fantasy. But Bake knows what he's talking about. So let's get to the man who knows anything and everything about fantasy football. And that's Robert Baker.
What up, Ice?
Bake? What's going on, brother?
Oh, shit, man. How's your week been?
Oh, good. I'm just trying to. Well, I'm
processing this Joe Burrow news.
Yeah, I'm 1 week away from vacation, so I'm on vacation next week. So next week's show might be hit or miss, and my grandson might be born next week. So yeah, guys have to pay attention to when the shows are. So make sure you hit the bell for the notification because I might not be doing one every single day. But this Joe Burrow news has kind of got me going. Man, I thought he'd come back. I did. I said, because people are like, oh, well, a doctor says this, and it takes this much longer to recover from a toe. And like, he's coming back. I said, I thought he was coming back in December. So when I thought he was coming back, it's the week before Thanksgiving, and he's full go in practice. I'm shocked, to be honest, that he is that healthy to do that. And according to T. Higgins, he seems fine to him, but he's not a doctor. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, man. I'm with you, and then I think he's starting to like ingrain himself in my DNA that I believe that if Joe Burrow gets hurt, he has. We talked about it, I think a couple weeks ago, right? And then I tweeted about. I was like, "Are we just like, was the injury just not that bad, or are we just Joe Burrow just is that amazing of a healer?" And it's just turning out that he's just got that. He's got some amazing genes as far as
jackpot. He does jackpot things.
Whatever, whatever you want to say, right? Like however you want to compare it, he heals up quickly, whether it's maybe it's nutrition, attacking the rehab the right way, maybe having access to stuff that we're not even aware of because he's a, superstar, but whatever it is, he is like a super healer. And like you said, like looking at him, he's already coming back from this where we thought maybe another 2 or 3 games potentially, right? He's healthier than Flacco. So it's like, all right, well,
right now seems like it.
I didn't expect him to play either, but based on everything, the way everything's looked so far this week, I not only would not be surprised, I'm almost expecting him to play now.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm almost expecting him to play. Now, the thing I'm hoping this shows some of these younger players that are looking like they're giving up, because I like, honestly, last week on the defense side of the ball, I saw players look like they gave up and didn't care. You have a guy who is making more money than those guys will probably ever see in their entire career, who is worked his ass off to get back here to play. So Burrow cares enough to play. So does that set a tone to the rest of the guys in the locker room? Like, hey, you better get off your ass and start making some plays here, because Joe Burrow is, and he's making you look bad because you're completely healthy and you guys still can't figure out how to tackle, and this guy can figure out how to come back from, a toe replacement, which really not a toe replacement, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, basically a toe replacement. I mean, the way, if that tendon's gone or that ligament or that ligament's gone there, it's just kind of hanging by the tendon or whatever. So I did, like I said, so we talked about before, I did something similar to what he did in his wrist, and my wrist was ruptured completely and it was just kind of dangling there. So I know, and my rehab, I did super quick too.
Do we want to know what you were doing to hurt your wrist that way?
Well, it was a little bit of private time. No, actually, funny story with that. Look, so played high school football, right? Not in super big. I wasn't like no molar or nothing like that, right? But, I was out there throwing myself around, played college football, and never really had any super injury, like major injuries, right?
Right.
Get to out here in the Navy. I was in the Navy still. I was just about to get out, and I played flag football competitive with co-ed teams around like San Diego, right? Just some fun. You would drink beer after on Saturdays. You play some flag football. What? I'm playing defense, running. Somebody throws a ball, trying to sandwich. I'm playing safety. They're trying to kind of sandwich it between me and my teammate are coming to sandwich the ball, right? And I'm going to jump and hit the ball, but then I realize I'm going to run into my teammate, which was a girl, by the way. So I'm like, I don't want to slam into this girl. I'm sprinting, right? So I throw my hands up, and I literally just throw my hand up to stop like this, literally push myself away from her.
Right.
But the force of me pushing, which happened to be directly onto her boob, like, so she, the next day, right? She's like, my boob. She's like, she's like, I won't show you, but I'll show the girls. There was literally a bruised handprint. Like I cupped her, but the doctor said that the speed with which I just real quick, put my hand up and it went back, it ruptured the whole tendon and ligament in my wrist. And thank you so much. You're welcome. It was my pleasure. I got to come out to San Diego, so
and he hasn't left.
Beautiful, yeah. So I knew instantly because there was a big ball, right? And I'm like, God, I was playing quarterback, Joe Burrow style. I go back in and I'm like, I'm just hurt. I'm gonna rub it out, right? Nah, not like that. Don't.
Nah.
As soon as I said it, I'm gonna go in. It'll be okay, right? So I go in, doing that, and first pass, I'm like, I'm gonna throw one deep. Go and I uncork it, and when I do that flick right to step into it, it was like somebody kicked me in the gut, dude. My wrist felt like somebody shot me. I was like, oh, I started screaming. I was like, something's messed up. I'm done. So that's how that happened. Long story short, long story middle, story long, whatever you want to call it.
So did the girl ever get your handprint tattooed right there for memories?
Of course she did. I mean, I told her, I was like, you need to, that's never going to happen again. So you better save that.
Enjoy that way you can.
I definitely was not saying that in front of my wife, who was playing on the team with me at the time. So, but that my only major injuries, I also poked a bone out of my finger playing flag football out here in San Diego. My only major injuries have been playing flag football. I played tackle my entire life. Play flag football.
Like Brad said, you hurt your hand trying to catch a field. Diesel.
Hey,
not in the Navy, not defending our country. You hurt yourself trying to get a field. Jeez.
Hey, not trying. I got it. You know what? I'm not a quitter, man. I went full in.
Dude,
I might not be able to grip for a year, but you know what? I felt that. I felt a part of a breast for about 5 billionths of a second.
Did he hurt his wrist? It's totally worth it. My wrist hurts. Totally worth it. All right, so let's get back on track here to Joe Burrow. That's what I kind of wonder. Like, I'll say this: people keep saying, "Don't let Joe play all year. He should just sit the rest of the year." It's freaking. Next week's Thanksgiving. We got 7 games left. We got a long season to go still. And I know we're saying we can get back into this with Joe Burrow because I think our defense is completely awful. But Joe Burrow, in my opinion, needs to play to get ready for next year. He needs to be able to get out there and get reps and stuff and show that his toe's fine for his mental thing. So he doesn't have to go through a whole offseason going, hey, Joe Burrow, how's the toe? How's the rehab going? And doesn't have to answer those questions again. And
do you think he'll be ready?
Yeah, I'm like, do you think Joe Burrow will be ready for the beginning of the season? Well, that's why I think he needs to play, because he's got to play to stay sharp. I mean, people say, well, don't play him because he might get hurt. Damn it, it's football. Robert just hurt himself trying to grab a boob in football, okay? I mean, you can get hurt in football. It's football. You don't play it to not get hurt. I mean, you're going to get hurt. I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, do I think if Joe is playing that Zach better get more guys back there to protect him? Yes. Do I think Joe Burrow should get rid of the ball faster and not try to do jackpot things? Yes. Will it happen? Joe Burrow probably not. Joe should play like he does, but Zach should definitely get some more guys in protection and not drop him back 2,700 times.
Well, yeah, we've talked about that. I don't, Joe plays like Joe's going to play, and I don't think there's nothing you can do to change like the way he just feels the game flow and feels like he's got to make the plays and whatever. So as far as that goes, and I think I was talking to somebody about it. I don't remember who it was earlier this week, but I was like, I have, and you too. Some of us have a different perspective, and not like trying to trash anybody who didn't grow up in the 90s, but like I find it hard to ever say I don't want to see the best players play, because I suffered through 9-10 straight years of just the worst. Like if you got a Joe Burrow and he's ready to play, I want to see some good football, man.
We got Joe Burrow in the chat. Joe Burrow is on Facebook watching us right now. Joe,
hey Joe, yeah, get in there and play, man, and then come join my podcast, Joe.
Yeah, not his podcast. My podcast though.
So, join them both if you're here, Joe. I'm just going to ask.
Joe, got a question for you. Are you playing on Sunday? I really want to know. I mean, you should DM me Sports Strawberry Ice, and we'll set it up, and you can come on the show.
Yeah, but I think I want him to win. I definitely do understand the people who say, right, we could use a high pick because we need an infusion of talent, and we do.
Yeah,
but I also let me step back on a little bit to where you were talking about with the injury. Oh, if you don't want him to play because he could get injured. He got injured in the regular season in regular football. Yeah. So like that argument's moot it's moot to me, because he can get injured. Yeah, he got injured in regular football. So do you not want him to ever play football again? We had Joe Burrow and he never played football again because we didn't want him to get hurt.
Right.
No,
exactly.
If he looks good and he feels good, let him go out there and play. And he could get hurt doing rehab. So it just doesn't.
Yeah. I guess too about getting a better draft pick. Or they don't play Joe Burrow. They're gonna play Joe Flacco. The offense is still cooking. We got 3 wins. We got 7 left. I mean, I honestly, even with Joe Burrow, and this is coming from the most optimistic Bengal, and I hope to God I'm wrong because I don't want them to lose, but I don't see them winning a game until the last 3, to be honest, because you got New England, you got Baltimore, you got Buffalo, and you got Baltimore again. The next 4 games are going to be really hard to win, even with Joe Burrow, because of how bad this defense is. Now, you say, all right, don't play him then. We got Joe Flacco. The offense is still cooking, Yeah. So I don't really know if it's going to make a difference. Joe Burrow makes a difference. Don't get me wrong. This offense and everything, and tomorrow or Sunday, you don't have Jamar Chase playing. So it's even harder for them to. Now, Mike G was also back at practice, which hopefully he'll play. That'll help. We need a 3rd wide receiver, but he's going to be wide receiver number 2 because Chase is out. And going back to I get so tired of people who did not grow up in the 90s and go through the 90s as a Bengals fan. Oh my God, these last 2 years just been like the 90s. Bull crap. No, they haven't.
No, I mean,
we had no shot from day 1 in the 90s ever.
No, you knew, like you said, from the jump every season, you were like from September, August, I was like, who's the top 5 draft pick next year?
Exactly. Yeah,
I remember being at I think it was 97, maybe 96. And we're at the game. It was the last game. It might've been the last of the season. It was the last home game of the season. Mm-hmm. And we were 1-14 or 1-15, whatever it was at that time, if it was the last game. Right. And we beat the Saints to knock them out of the playoffs. Right. And
like that, yes.
There wasn't many Bengals fans there, but you would have thought we won the damn Super Bowl. I mean, people were jumping out onto the field, and I mean, it was crazy. So I just remember those times, and I don't say that ever to trash anybody. No, that's just why I find it hard when I'm like, yeah, let's just lose every game, and I'm like, as a competitor, I don't think you could never tell me to do that. And as somebody who's seen a lot of losses, if we can get out there and win, last year we didn't make the playoffs, but it was still fun as shit to watch that run at the end.
Oh, it was awesome.
Now, I always want to make the playoffs before anybody gets all pissed off. I always want to make the playoffs.
Exactly. I always want to make the playoffs. I think it's like the point to this too is like, we get a top 5 pick if we keep lose more. The thing is, the Bengals could have drafted an impact player were in the first round last year. They chose not to. That is the problem with this whole thing. I'm going to keep banging that drum. It's the drafting and the developing. It's who they're drafting, because they have yet to, when they lose players, find a replacement right away. I mean, it's taken us forever to replace Andrew Whitworth, and say what you want about Zeus. Zeus is the best left tackle we've had since Whit. Jesse Bates, still haven't replaced him. Larry Ogunjobi, still haven't replaced him. DJ Reader, still haven't replaced him. Chidobe Awuzie, we got two pretty good quarterbacks. Who's behind them? Haven't replaced them. That's my point. Is you cannot keep letting good talent walk out the door, which they're not. I'm not saying keep everybody, because you can't. And that's one thing. Well, that was my argument with Jesse Bates. They can't keep everybody. I thought when they drafted Dax Hill, he was going to be their replacement. They were wrong, and I was wrong. You can't keep letting good talent go. You got to fix the core problem of this organization, and it's from the top down, where we literally don't have a general manager at all. Like, Mike Brown's not even listed as general manager. I didn't know that until 2 days ago when Satori said it. We got 3 assistant GMs, which I'm not sure who they're assisting, since we don't have a GM.
Combined.
Yeah, like, we don't have a GM. Who are you assisting? So take one of those guys, make them the GM, and blow everything out, start over. At least add scouts to this, because you've got to fix it, because no team can fix everything through free agency. You've got to be able to draft it. Doesn't matter if it's top 5, top 10, top 50. You've got to be able to draft. You've got to find 2 or 3 guys each year in that draft that can make an impact on your team. Name one defensive player in the last, I don't know, 6 years that they've drafted. The last good first-round pick we had is Amarius Mims. That's the last good one we've had.
Yeah, and not to trash him at all, but he still has some flaws that he's working on too, right? He's not been some of that
but
he
was the best player that they did there. He was the best player available there, and that's what they need to do. Draft the best player available. I don't give a crap if you got somebody there. If that's the best player, draft them.
I was just talking to Goodberry about this, and I don't know if he was kind of working on it. I kind of was brought up like kind of an idea of what I was thinking, right? Like, and he might have already been working on, because he had some of the stats together. But I was like, I'd like to see, and might be the only reason I would like to have a little bit of a higher pick. I was like, I would like to see how much better, and that's all subjective, right? But I would like to see how much better the Bengals are at drafting at, like, once the pick gets above a certain spot, it's almost like they panic and don't know what the hell to do. And then there's like a window where they don't draft good at all. And then there's like a couple windows, and he did some of it. And he already started putting some stuff out where he's talking about how they draft really well at like the top of the second round, but really bad at the bottom of the first round. And he's like, why don't they just take some of those players from the top of the second round that they see, but they feel like they just confuse themselves. And we've talked about that before, right? Like they almost try to outthink everybody or whatever. And sometimes you're like, just go with the layups, guys. Like,
right, go take the layups. That's the biggest thing to me, is take the layups. And you can see, I mean, it's documented. I mean, Goodberry's put it out there. By the way, next time I tell Joe, tell me it's been like 3 years since he's been on my show. He's calling my show. But where you can see it, I mean, go back to the year they drafted Joe. They drafted Joe, T, and Jamar, or Joe, T, and Logan, all in the same year. I mean, that's a great draft. But you're picking Joe Burrow. T. Higgins, they got lucky. They picked him at the top, first pick of the second round, I think it was. And then, the next year they got Burrow got hurt, and then they ended up getting Jamar Chase, and I can't remember who.
Well, we got T because a team pulled a note for lack of a better term. They pulled a Bengals. The Packers were like, "Hey, we need a receiver for our quarterback, and there's this guy named T. Higgins there. Let's take a quarterback." Right. And they're like, hold up. And we were like, whoa, what? I was scared, honestly, going in that morning, because they kept talking about like how, they might not pick a receiver, because AJ and whatever, blah, blah, blah. At that time, we knew he was still injured and stuff. But I was like, oh man, I would love T. And this before we even knew T was T, right? And how awesome he is, and how like not even just awesome of a player, but a person too, right? So I was like, man, I really hope they get this guy. And then I was just like, from everything I'd seen about Logan, I'm not a draft guy, but everything I'd seen everybody talk about Logan Wilson, I was like, man, this seems like a pick. So when they were doing it, I was like, at that time, I'm like, yeah, I could be a GM. This is what
They also
These are the
got
players they should be taking.
and they also got Akeem Davis Gaither, which I mean, he was a good
Yeah.
backup linebacker for us too. That was a great draft, but they picked high in all of them. And then that's the thing is like they picked high when they got Jamar, and then we went to the Super Bowl and back to back AFC Championship games, and we picked lower and picked lower, and then we haven't hit. Jamar Chase or up until Mims. They hit on Mims, and maybe Dax but they didn't draft him for safety, so it's kind of hard for me to say they hit on him. He's better at corner. He's actually probably better at slot corner than he is anything else. So from Joe and Jamar to Mims, I think and then they haven't hit because you have Miles Murphy, Shamar Stewart. I mean Miles Murphy had a good game Sunday, which is great.
He did.
First one he's really shown out in 3 years. If he should have been doing that 2 years ago, Shamar Stewart hadn't done crap. I know he's hurt, so I'm not saying he's a bust yet. But Brad does have a good question here. He says, and I don't really know the answer. Who gets the boot on the roster when Joe gets reinstated? If you ask my opinion, Geno Stone.
Oh man, I don't know.
Cut him. Start Deshaun, start Tyson, start anybody at safety other than Geno Stone right now.
That's why I tweeted out something. It was stupid. I get all mad sometimes during the games, and I was like, he's made more business decisions than any CEO in the freaking country this year. Seriously, that was I get that Darnell Washington's a big dude. I get it. Like I can just feel.
I don't want to tackle him, but I'm not. Paid
I don't either. But I'm also not getting paid millions of dollars to do it. And it's not even like I'm saying go heads up, right? I need you to go bull in the ring, old school, knock them. Just go low, take him out. I don't know what that spin. He spun himself and just threw himself in the air whoop. And I was just I instantly I wanted to record myself smashing a TV like one of those viral videos. What the I was just come on, dude. And then to watch right immediately after our smallest guy go up and just get smacked, but he still smacks him right in the mouth, right? DJ Turner's let's go. And DJ Turner goes flying back, but it's
he tried.
He tried. Oh my God, dude.
Well, that's the thing. It's if Geno Stone is making business decisions, for what? You're going to get cut. You better get cut, and you're going to make even less money than you are this year. So why are you not trying as hard as you can to make plays to at least look like you're trying, at least look like you're giving an effort, at least look like you're trying to get better at tackling, the one thing you cannot freaking do.
Yeah, get some good tape out there.
Right. What business decision are you making? That's right. This is where I love Zach, and I do, and I hope he can get this back, but this is the first time that I've seen guys not give full efforts. I mean, T. Higgins, year after year, he hurts his hamstring. Not what he has done this year, but the man hustles, gets himself out there. Joe Burrow, he's coming back way sooner than anybody else. So I mean, he hasn't lost those guys. Defense side of the ball, they're gone. I don't know, and that goes to the thing too, where we said there's so many guys that they let leave the room. All right, when you talk about trying to a little guy trying to tackle a big guy, Mike Hilton was the biggest, baddest little dude I've ever seen. He would have went there, and he might have got knocked over, but he probably would have taken Washington down. He would take King Henry down all the time. He probably could have taken Washington down, but they let him go. Why? I mean, at the time I'm because at the time I'm yeah, let him go because I think they're going to sign somebody else. But if you're not going to sign anybody else, go re-sign Mike Hilton. Go re-sign Chidobe Awuzie. If you're not signing anybody else, and the bad thing is when Katie Blackburn almost admitted that, this offseason got away from us because we're so concentrated on T and Jamar. Well, you know what? If you had actually concentrated on them the year before, when it would have been cheaper.
Or if you're not a singularly focused personnel department, we can only do one thing at one time, and we have to be here.
We can't deviate. I go, nope.
It's now as far as Cheeto, he's actually now I understood the thought of all right, is he going to come back from the knee? I feel like the Bengals
back though. It was
the Bengals are real quick. The Bengals are we know that, right? They're real quick to be nope, they're done, and they don't there's no. That's how they make their choice.
Ask Whitworth.
Yeah, and obviously we saw how that went, right? And we saw firsthand he, blocking us, but I do I did see why they, Hilton, other than his blitzing and his tackling ability, like if he got isolated in coverage, he was a liability that last year. Like, right, they were slot fading him like crazy, and he couldn't keep up with that kind of speed on the outside, whatever it was for him. So I understood it, but you're right. Like sometimes you need players that are culture players, right? You need those players, and
all the culture's gone out on the defense side of the ball. All it's gone.
And I think that's like really like what happened. Like you had a few people, the BJ Hills, right? The even the Logan Wilsons that were kind of trickled through, but now like they're almost all gone, and now it's this
young
like
group that
it's not that they're not leaders. It just feels almost like there's nobody that's leading the way. I know that sounds funny, right? There's leaders in there, but no one's taking charge. No one's like, this is our identity.
Yeah, they're lost. They don't know how to get out of what they're in. And nobody's there to show, which that falls on Al Golden. Al Golden should be the one to show them how to do that. But if these guys are making business decisions, then that means they're not listening to Al Golden.
That's a different problem.
Right, exactly. All right, so we do have some fantasy football questions here. So guys, bring your fantasy football questions. Roger says my team is Lamar Jackson, Rico Doling, Saquon Barkley.
Dowdle. You always say Doling.
Oh, Alex, sorry. I think this is what he meant to say. Nico Collins, Sutton, Debo Samuel, Marvin Harrison. My friend offered me Judkins and Diggs for Dowling.
Dowdle.
Dowdle?
Dowdle. Yeah, Rico Dowdle. He's the Panthers running back, the one that came from Dallas last year.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I don't. Let's see here. Debo, Sutton, Collins. That's not too. Marvin Harrison. I mean, I got him too. I don't know what's going on with him. He's injured and not playing well. He's had a couple of games.
He's lost his confidence, if you ask me.
But yeah, and it's hard too. Like Kyler's played up and down, and you're right. I think it's a little bit of both. The offense isn't featuring him like that.
Do you think they move on from Kyler?
I don't know. I mean, I could see it. I could see it for sure. Yeah, I could see it. They're at that point. He hasn't done anything for him. I don't know about his contract. I didn't check that out. But yeah, if it's at that point, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Right. Real quick on this. So obviously Josh Jacobs hurt for maybe this week. So that one's something you got to look forward. You got to at least check out for this week. I don't know. As far as doesn't look like he's going to play. So, but yeah, I mean, that's not bad. You're getting Judkins, who's I believe top 15 overall. I don't know exactly where he's at. I didn't pull it right up, but he's been rushing about one of the only bright offensive spots for the Browns, other than Harold Fannin and Joko. And then Diggs has been, looking kind of like old school Diggs here. Does have surprisingly the one thing that the Bengals do well against on opposing teams has been wide receiver. So a little bit of a more tough matchup for him this week. So, but that's not a bad trade as far as still having Travion Henderson, getting Judkins, and then once Josh Jacobs is back, you got three strong running backs. And it's funny, I'm not meaning to discount Barkley. I just don't know what the hell's going on with him. A guy who just rushed for 2,000 yards and has done what he's done, but he's been kind of off. So yeah, I would take it. I would like that one, especially with it being probably the last week for trades in most leagues. I can't hear you. Oh, I got you. I saw you. I'm trying to read your lips. We got any more questions while Jeff's mic's not working here, guys? So if you got some questions, send them in and he'll pop them up and I'll read them. The good part about me reading them is that I'll be able to actually read the damn names correctly. No, see, we still can't. He can hear us though. So that's the good part. So if there's anything you'd like for me to say to Jeff, then go ahead and send that up here too. And he cannot respond to you at all right now. So, but yeah, let's talk about some matchups. So fantasy matchups this week that if anybody is out there and you don't have any questions to get them in right now. Geno Smith, we've got tough matchups. The Browns, that's like I was talking about. The Browns have a pretty tough defense. And what's funny is the Browns have a tough defense across the board against most positions in fantasy and just a tough defense overall. But their record obviously does not reflect that. So Geno Smith got a tough matchup against them this week. Ashton Genty's got a tough matchup against them this week. They're fourth overall in fantasy points allowed against running back. So let's see here. Who else we got? Jacoby Myers got a tough matchup this week for, I know he's been leading the Jags since he's come over from the Raiders. There's a lot of Raiders talk here. But Cardinals defense has been pretty tough too against opposing wide receivers. So a couple tough matchups for this week here. Let's see here as Jeff continues to work on his mic. Oh, there he is.
Hey, I'm back.
He's back.
Okay. I don't know
He's
what the
back.
heck. Okay. Back again. Ice is back.
Tell a friend.
Ice is back. Ice is back. Ice is back. Ice is back. I don't know what the heck happened. I must have hit a button or something. I think I hit that button.
Last week you saw me. I swapped to a whole new microphone.
Like also it said you're talking and it says I lost microphone. I'm like, how? I didn't hit anything.
You're like, I'm not even moving. What the hell?
Know. I was talking here. So our boy Rashard is in the chat.
Rashad.
I always call him Rashad.
God, that's look. He can't even if he can't read anybody's name.
That's my boy. I always call him Genty. It's easier to say Genty.
He won't, man. He won't. Like I don't know, man. I feel like you'd almost be better playing with 10 sometimes. Like because you know there's going to be a gap. Like honestly, you're like, hey, we got no. Come on, what the hell? Like, oh man, it's crazy.
Genty, you just need to come out of retirement. That's what we need. We need you to come in and start hitting the people. That Geno Stone won't bust a grape to save his life. Oh my goodness. And yes,
I'll get tangled up with some people's legs. I'm telling you that.
Yeah, and he'll hurt his wrist too.
It's strengthened now, baby.
It's all that wrist action you've been doing.
That's what they said. Do rehab. I said, say less.
Got you covered. He's in a ship full of semen. I got it.
Hey.
Okay.
See, it works both ways.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so let's do some fantasy talk here. All right, who we starting? Who we sitting? What do you got? Who's your
So while you were out, I don't know if you heard, I was talking about some of the players with bad matchups. Talk about Geno Smith and Ashton Genty. The Browns defense has been, like I said, that's what I'm saying. Browns defense has been pretty good, and you would think that their record would be better, but it's obviously not. So they're one, as far as quarterbacks go, they're one of 4 teams that's giving up less than 200 yards per week. So not a good setup for them going into this week. So I also mentioned Jacoby Myers, in case you didn't hear that one. Mm-hmm. He's been leading the Jags since coming over from the Raiders, but the Cardinals, another team that surprisingly they've been matching up very well with wideouts. So not the best matchup. Do we need to talk about Drake May and Travion Henderson and Hunter Henry all having amazing matchups this week?
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Probably we should talk about them. I don't want to.
Yeah. So
wait. Well, that's funny. What team are they playing? I don't know.
So Drake May is playing Cincinnati. Travion Henderson's playing the Bengals, and Hunter Henry's playing the Cincinnati Bengals.
So it sounds like a pretty cool city, but I heard their team isn't very good this year.
They're offensively they're a team to watch, but defensively they are So but yeah, if you have, we talked about it, and I obviously hate to, I'm not trying to even trash the Bengals, but as far as fantasy goes, if you have a running back or a tight end playing the Bengals, you need to play them. Tight ends specifically, tight ends specifically, we're the only team that's giving up over a touchdown per week to tight ends. The only team, and we're giving up 1.2 touchdowns per week, and the next closest to us is 0.7. So we're giving up a whole half touchdown more per week to tight end. So
record, baby.
There's a chance the tight end could get in twice on us every week. So and Hunter Henry's actually been playing pretty good. Obviously, Drake May has been talked like MVP candidate. So they're not just, I'm not saying it just because they're playing the Bengals D. They're playing good, as well. But in fantasy, the Bengals D is not as good too. But let's talk about some other ones here. Jared Goff, you got him, and you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, the Giants D. They're kind of in that Bengals realm of they're not really covering anybody. So Jared Goff has been, he's been pretty good this season. I think he's 6th overall in fantasy. Well, I always say that too, but it depends on how your scoring is. So PPR leagues, how you put big play leagues, all that stuff. So, but top 10 most likely in any league you're in. So Giants are giving up 22 points per week to quarterbacks. So that's a good sign. He's going to get some more. Let's see who else. We got some good matchups. Kenneth Walker. I haven't talked about Walker that much this week because he's been kind of a disappointment. I don't have him in any leagues just because I thought that split Zach Charbonnet might be a little too much. But last week he had probably if not his best game, his second best game of the year. So he's got a good matchup this week too. So against the Titans defense. So they're giving up second most touchdowns per week to opposing running back. So good matchup for him if you got him. Another one you might want to look forward to. We got any other questions? I know, and
we got a couple here, not fancy, but the other ones here.
Oh yeah, keep going.
Natty Ron, my boy here, wants to can UC win? Now my question is, do you mean Friday night against Louisville? I'm leaning toward probably not, because Louisville has a very, very good team that could be in their national champion contenders. If you're talking about the football team, yes, I think they can win. I think they should win. They better win Saturday night against BYU, because Satterfield right now, he's only got one more win than he had all of last year. So he needs to keep the momentum that he had before the Utah game. So
I think that's what the emojis are. It's a basketball and a football. Can they both win?
Yeah, they both. Yeah. So that's my question on both those. There.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one on Friday.
Yeah. We got a lot. Dude, we got a lot of stuff going on down here this weekend. We got the UC basketball game Friday night. We got the state semifinals that's gonna be at Paycor.
Oh yeah,
Elder and St. X, which I would love to go to that and watch that. And then like Saturday, we got
is it St. X? I thought it was Moeller.
No, it's St. X and Elder.
Oh, okay, St. X.
St. X and Elder, yeah. St. X and Elder. And then Saturday, we got big noon kickoff here, and the UC's playing Saturday night. And then we got everything I'm doing Saturday down at the Moreland Lager House, the Stein holding competition down there. And then Sunday, we got the Bengals game. And then Sunday night, we got the FC playoff game. So there's a lot of stuff going on down here.
Yeah, that FC Cincinnati playoff match. Messi coming to town. I'm sure that's going to be nuts, man.
That's at 5 o'clock. So
I wish I was in for that one. That'd be great.
So I'm going to watch that. If you got Apple TV, you can watch it. All right. Thanks for $10 super chat there, Fuzzy Balls. For T's sake, I'm happy if 9 play so he can tie Chris Carter's NFL record for consecutive home games with a receiving TD. It would be great for T to get this record. Yes, that would be awesome. I'm glad. I mean, we need T to play. But it's gonna be hard for T. I don't know. Now, as far as fantasy goes, that's a good fantasy question. If you got T Higgins on your fantasy team, would you start him? Because he's going to get double D whole game. Because Jamar's not out there. Mike G hopefully will be out there. You got Yoshivash. I mean, it's gonna be hard for T to have a game. What's your thoughts on?
Yeah, and the Patriots defense is really good. Obviously, everyone knows that Vrabel is known for his defense and everything. When he was down with the Titans, they were always good too. And Gonzalez is a really good corner. If you've got T, it's tough to say if you've got somebody, I'd have to look at your lineup, but it's in the same case as you would always say with the wide receiver one, right? They're always like, and I feel like he is, right? When Jamar's not in, T is one of those very rare, like as Jamar would say, wide receiver 1A, 1B, right? Oh, he slots right into a wide receiver one, not like oh, this wide receiver 2 has to step up type of role. I mean, like I actually believe that T is like immediately right into there. So
it's just, he's going to have to really step up because he's one going to be the focal point of the passing game both ways for the Bengals and for the Patriots to stop them.
Yeah, and we know Vrabel is good at, and he's going to know that as well too, and he's going to do his best. So I think where you would be happy as far as if you had to start T is that the volume most likely will be there, right? So he's probably going to see, targets in the teens most likely, right? So if he's seeing that, then that's a good, and especially too, the Patriots are the top team against the rush too. So as much as the run game has been helping out, it's going to be one of the tougher weeks that we've had over the past couple weeks for them to help out. It might be the opposite this week. We might actually need to, like we're used to, right? The old school Bengals, right? Have the pass open up the run. So they're going to have to game plan whoever's starting a quarterback to kind of get the pass going. And I just think that, like I said, T's going to get the targets, and we've talked about it before. For T, not that Jamar can't do it, but T only needs to catch, 2 or 3 sometimes. And those are 3 catches for 115 yards and a touchdown, or 2 touchdowns. And and that's a pretty good fantasy day for the team. So,
and Fuzzy, I'm not saying he won't, I'm just saying he's going to be more double teams and everything than he is. But he says T here, or she, I don't know if Fuzzy Ball is a he or she. It says T is 6'4", 225. With an 81-inch wingspan in the red zone, and he can bully and jump DBs even when he's double. Yeah, exactly.
And Christian Gonzalez is a really good corner for the Patriots too. So I mean, if there's a few of those corners out there, the old school, match up with your number one and give him a really tough time. He's kind of in that mold. So Brad's
got one for me for the Bearcats football here. It says Satterfield loses the final 4 games is the on hot seat again. Yes. Yeah. If you have a back-to-back, in my opinion, even if he made a bowl game, if you have a back-to-back, and this would even be worse than last year because they were talking about winning the Big 12, and you have a back-to-back season where you crash and burn the second half. Yeah, he's on a hot seat in my opinion. So he's got you should. There's no reason. The Utah loss hurts, but I'm not pissed off about it. I'm pissed off about the Arizona game. You can't let Arizona come here in the Nippert and beat you. You can't. They weren't ranked. We were ranked 25th. You can't let that happen. That should not happen. And it did. And it reminded me too much of what happened in the last year. So that's where, yes, they should beat BYU. It's a home game. It's Nip at Night. It's one of the best venues around. Nip at Night is awesome. I said it out here a million freaking times. You got big noon kickoff here. You should win that game tomorrow night. Hands down. I'm not saying blow them out, but you should win it. And if they don't, people are going to be calling for it again. I'll tell you that.
No, yeah, you're right, man. I think as far as the Utah game goes, like that was, like if they win that, they were ascending big time, right? And if they win that, but I don't blame them because that was a tough game to come into on the road, right? All that
they
went into
10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, so it's a tough game, but it feels like that, like you said, after last, like it just kind of shook their confidence, and they just didn't look like the same, like kind of the same team in that game last week. It was like,
oh no, from throwing no interceptions to throwing 2, I think 3 last week. Something like that.
Did he end up with 3? I know he had 2 in the first half.
2, I think he had 2. I mean, he might end up 3. I can't remember off the top of my head. But we got a fancy question here for you. So would you start Michael Wilson over Jenkins or Alex Pierce this week? Also, Emmanuel Wilson over Kenneth Walker.
I just said I like Walker's matchup this week. I did pick up Emmanuel Wilson in a couple of my leagues too. If I need to play him as well, but I do like the matchup that Walker has this week. So, and the Vikings have been a pretty decent defense as far as for the year. They've been kind of on the way down, but the Titans defense, as far as against running backs, has been pretty bad. They'd be really bad if there wasn't a team called the Cincinnati Bengals. So
we are the best at being the worst this year. Okay.
The Titans rush defense against, as far as fantasy against opposing running backs, has been pretty bad. So Kenneth Walker's a good play. I do like Michael Wilson this week. I've got him in some of my leagues. When I picked him up in some of the ones I had to go with too. Because Pierce has a tough matchup. They got the Chiefs, right? That's right. I'll make sure. Pierce has got tough. I have been talking about Pierce the last couple of weeks. UC boy. He's been kind of on a tear with those deep shots, but the Chiefs have been really good against opposing wide receivers this season too. They're top 5 in both overall points against wide receivers and in the red zone. So not that Pierce is a red zone guy, but yeah. So I actually have Michael Pittman on my bearish list this week because of that as well too, because he's kind of is that kind of red zone jump ball type of guy. But so as far as that goes, I don't like Alec Pierce's matchup. So as far as that, I would say not him. And I have Jennings too, but he's I don't know what's been going on. Purdy's back, so maybe that does mean something. Gives me a little bit of pause. Purdy looked good last week. But I like Wilson this week, so I would long-winded response there but Wilson. So there you go. I would go Wilson on that one.
Here. Let's see here.
Try to give you all so you can think about it.
I like it. I thought Brad. Oh, here you go. Brad had another one I want to get up here. This is an interesting question. Who's the starting D you would like to see on the team next year? On the defense side of the ball, the only one right now, DJ Turner.
If we're talking about all overall starters,
all over, that's what
obviously
the whole thing, or defensive line, but just
obviously Hendrickson.
See, I don't know. So, all right, I got. I'll ask you this. So Centauri said this on my show Tuesday, because I was like, well, the Bengals are just going to tag him. I don't want them to tag him now because Centauri is like, that's going to take up too much of the cap space. Plus, you're going to have, if you got $20 million left to, or $10 million left to sign your draft picks, they'll only leave you like $20 million to do anything after Trey Henderson and your draft pick. So I am totally, I want to keep Trey, but they need to sign him. If they don't sign him, then they got to move on. And at this point, the defense is so bad. We got to get younger. We got to get better. And I hate to say it, he's got a sports hernia now. And I thought they thought it was a back. They thought it was a hip. Now it's a sports hernia. I'm like, it's happening. Everything the Bengals were worried about is happening this year. He's gotten hurt, and he's 30. I don't know. I mean, I'm saying for a record, I want to keep him, but I don't want to tag him. That's how I want to do it. And the bad thing is, the way his season has went, I don't think the Bengals will tag him, because if he goes out on the open market, he's not going to get as much money as he would have this past year, 2 years ago. Ship has sailed this year because of the way the season has went. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I think I said him specifically because of how bad the rest of the defensive line is. So it's like, I don't want to let everybody go because, like, it feels like we should, but like,
it's not we're lacking talent. We just
yeah, no, it's not like, I just, if we're going to make some of them calls, I could see bringing him back just because he's still the best edge that they have.
Yeah.
Now, maybe it works out good for him or good for the Bengals in that regard of him getting hurt, because they're like, oh, look, see, you are going to get hurt. Maybe you should negotiate and come down, and we'll give you a 2-year, and it works out for them. And, they're like, and ultimately they feel vindicated, which I don't know if that would be good or bad. Then they'd just be like, see, we told you. We know what we're talking about. You're like,
we know what we're doing.
Here we go again.
Yeah, exactly. I think has done
there's
done
not
a
much
terrible job for him, though. I think Trey's agent has done a horrible job for him.
He has, and there's something too I saw with the way they set up his contract. I don't know all the contract. That's where you need like Andre Perota and all those people who do all the contract stuff, right? Is something with, because of the way they gave that extra year. If we do tag him, he's not in that. His contract falls in a different category as far as that, how it's normally like 150% or whatever. His doesn't fall in that because of that extra year that I don't know. It was something weird. So he actually screwed him even more as far as even if we do tag him again, is basically what the gist of that is.
Yeah. All right. We got one statement here, and then we'll get to the question here. MB3 says, not worth it. Talk about Joe. Why risk Joe for the team that has no chance of making the playoffs? This team needs a top 10 pick. All right. So I'll go. So you obviously missed the beginning of the show. The reason, there's two reasons that you play him. One, he might be the healthiest quarterback you have right now. So that might be your best option to put him out there. Two, we got 7 games left. If Joe Burrow is healthy, they're not going to sit him all 7 games. They're not going to do that. Joe didn't work his ass off to get back here. Plus, Joe needs to play to show that his toe is fine and everything. He needs to get reps so he's better for next year. And as good as Joe Flacco's been playing, even if Joe Burrow is playing on this team as bad as his defense is, it might not make a difference. I mean, I'm not saying Joe Flacco is as good as Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow makes a huge difference, but this defense is god awful. So it might not matter. I personally do not see them winning the next 5 games. What did I say? We got 4. But New England,
Baltimore,
Buffalo, Baltimore. I don't see them winning those 4 games. I just don't. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I mean, I want to be wrong. I want them to win. I think the chance they got to win are the last 3. I think they got a chance to win all 3 of them. But we'll see what happens.
I think they could potentially pull one of the Baltimore games out just because division games are weird. And Lamar's been playing weird the last couple weeks. Like looks good, then looks like not good at all. Like he doesn't even, so if that happens, then the one in Cincinnati, but we always know how we play in Baltimore.
Well, I think it's this is the one I would pick is the Thanksgiving one, because Jamar's coming back. Jamar's going to be pissed that he missed a game, and he's going to take it out on the Ravens. And Joe Burrow plays good. And if Joe plays this week, and that's another reason why I don't know if he'll play this week, because they got such a short week. That's a big ask to start on Sunday and turn around and start on Thursday when you haven't played in 2 months or a month and a half, however long it's been. But if he does, that'll be Joe Burrow's second game back. So Joe Burrow would knock the cobwebs out, whatever, and he'd have his full. We'd have everybody, because Mike G would be back, Jamar would be back, Joe would be back. We'd have the full offense. So, and that's the thing going forward is you could have that, and they might pull off one of these next 4 games. I thought they'd pull off Sunday, but unless this defense starts acting like they give a crap, I don't think they're going to. And that's the part that's when I saw that. That's where I'm like, we're done. These guys, and that's the first time I think I saw Bengals players give up. And it was only on that side of the ball. I didn't see it on the offensive side of the ball. It was that side of the ball. All right. Anyway, let's get to this fancy question here. Orbit. Good afternoon, fellas. Hope all is well. Would you start Woody, Marks, or Michael Wilson on FPPR? Thank you.
I mean, I like Woody Marks. I mean, obviously that game's tonight, so you'd have to get that one locked in pretty quick here too. So I like Woody Marks, though. He's going against the Bills, and the Bills' rush defense has also been pretty bad. Not quite Bengals Titans level bad, but overall they've been pretty bad as well too. That's been the one area that they've been struggling into. I'm trying to pull up the numbers so I can give you here. But yeah, they've been pretty bad against running backs as well too. So let me see here. They are actually, I lied. They're actually better in the red zone, but they're worse than the Titans. So they're giving up almost 24 points per game to running back. So Woody Marks has got a good matchup this week. He's on my list that I've got to look at too on my other bullish players list this week too. So I like his matchup. Like I already said, I like Michael Wilson's matchup. Excuse me. I like Michael Wilson's matchup too. So I don't think you honestly could go wrong if you feel one way or the other. They both got good matchups, but I think Woody Marks is primed, and Houston's got Davis Mills going at quarterback, so they're going to want to lean on the run a little bit more. So I think the game plan should favor Woody Marks too, and the matchup does.
There you go. All right, we're almost an hour into this. Do me a favor, Bake. Would you plug some stuff? Tell everybody where they can find you for all their fantasy needs.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Come find me, Fantasy Bankroll YouTube show. Fridays, Saturdays, I got my bullish bearish, which is my start sit list. Or not really. I talked about this every week. I don't really do the start sit. I just trying to give you matchups I think are players that have good matchups and bad matchups so that you can kind of highlight them. And we talked about it last week too. I try to highlight. And I could always pick the players that are, bottom rung players that you're not even starting. So I try to look at matchups that are players are going to get played more. So I do that on Fridays or Saturdays, depending on, sometimes I'm waiting to post for injuries and stuff. So, but by Friday or Saturday, I post those. So come check that out. Mondays and Tuesdays, I will be posting my free agent and waiver wire pickup, or my injury and waiver wire pickup. So, and then come follow me on Twitter. You can see it down there, Robert_Banker. I tweet out a lot of fantasy stuff as well on there too. So, yep, come follow me. Send your questions over. You can DM me or come send me your rosters, and I'll answer the questions over there as well.
All right, one final question.
And you can always find me every Thursday on the show with Ice.
Exactly. Now, one final question. Are the Bengals winning on Sunday?
My heart tells me yes. I don't really like the matchup. I want to say yes. You know what? And I'm gonna go with my heart like I always do, and feel like they rally somehow. Joe Burrow starts and they win 27-24.
Ooh, I like it. If they win, it's going to be close. That's for sure. Bake, I appreciate it, man. I'll see you next Thursday, brother.
Yes, sir. Who day?
All right, guys. As always, hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Thanks for watching. I've been live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch. You can follow me on all those along with Threads and TikTok. Also, check out my Substack. I write some articles on there every once in a while. And like I always say, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell for notification. Once I go live, you'll be notified that, because sometimes I do shows. Most of the time it's at 5:30. Next week, like I said, I'm going to be on vacation. I'm probably not going to do a show every single day. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm on vacation, so I might just want to chill. And like you said, maybe my grandson will be born that week, which would be awesome. I would hope so. But as always...
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Priority Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got them in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. The website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
Oh, all right, guys. I'm already practicing. I don't know how this is going to go, but join me next Saturday right here at the Memorial Lager House for the Beer Stein holding competition. I'm going to be doing it, trying to hold this thing up as long as I can, and not wanting to drink it. It looks so delicious, though. Maybe I should just drink it. Yeah, I'll just drink it. It's delicious. But come on down next Saturday, the 22nd, for the International Beer Stein holding competition. I'll be there in the celebrity portion of it. You come down and watch me see how long I hold this thing. Like, this should be fine, but this is going to be a while. See you guys next Saturday. Let's go. That's right. Come on down this Saturday. The whole thing starts at noon. The Stein holding competition that I'm in, along with Bengals captain, starts at 3 o'clock. It goes to like 10 o'clock at night. It's going to be out in the tent area in the Chris Kringle Market, which is out there with the big grassy area. They got a whole bunch of tents and everything set up down there. There's a ton of stuff to do down there. They got different beer games. It's going to be so much fun. Big screen TVs. I think that they'll have football on. So it'll be a great time. So come on down there and support me and Cap. I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, come on down Sunday before the Bengals game. We will be giving away this autographed T. Higgins helmet. How do you register for it? Well, first way is buy a ticket to the Best Day Brewery pregame experience at the Moreline Lager House. Go to the Moreline Lager House website and buy your ticket there. Second way, that gets you entered once. If you want to be entered twice, stay on that website and join the Moreline Lager House Rewards Program. That is free. You can join that and you'll be given a shot at winning the T. Higgins helmet. But come on down Sunday. We got DJ. We'll be down in the tent down there. It's going to be nice and warm. We got heaters. DJ's going to be on the inside. All the food and everything's going to be in there. It's going to be an absolute freaking blast. I'm telling you, it is so much fun down there. We're going to have fun before the game. Hopefully have fun during the game watching the Bengals hopefully win. But later on tonight, I will be pulling off the sound, putting on the podcast. Make sure you listen to it, rate it, like it, review it. It's on BeanPod, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Listen to it in the morning on the way to work because we don't have any morning sports talk, local sports talk radio shows on it. So check my podcast out. Other than that, I think that's it. Let me check the last couple of comments here. I think somebody, Brad, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I like fuzzy balls here. This is perfect. About Joe Burrow. What's the risk? That's what I'm saying. It's not like they can shut him down for the rest of the season at any point they feel like, which they can. They can exactly do that with Joe Burrow. To me, Burrow's got to play because he needs to play to show that his toe is fine, get reps ready for next year. The likelihood of him getting hurt again, I think, to be very, very slim. Offensive line is playing better, and it's football. You can't play football to not get hurt. You got to play football to play football. So I don't know. They're playing him Sunday. I'm sticking with. I think they're playing him Thursday because, like I said, if it was I'll put it this way: if the next week game was a Sunday game and not a Thursday game, I think he plays this Sunday. But since it's such a short week, I think he plays Sunday. And I think if you ask Joe would rather play in Baltimore on Thanksgiving and try to beat the Ratbirds. That's just my opinion. But as always, remember one thing and one thing only. That is Houday for life. And throw it up. That's just sports, baby. See ya!
Another great show. You guys still here? The show's over. You can come back tomorrow. I'm out of here. See ya.